20 seconds more. Now,
Okay, that reminds me of the time when I was in 10th grade and my mother used to tell me stories about me from my childhood. And because I was the first one in our family and it was a joint family, everyone used to love me at the most. And like, when it came to whenever it came to whenever something came to me, I always had high standards, and that was the same with food. So having me feed was it was challenging process because as a child I did not like to eat, and I recently asked my mother about this, and she told me that when she was pregnant with me, she used to take 2 injections a day just to have food, and that is why I did not like having food that much. But now that I'll be leaving soon, I am not that familiar with the food that I'll be having in the university every day. So my mother, she started teaching me how to cook some things, including the meals. But after a while, she got fed up because
warning.
I wasn't any good at it. So then she put me into cooking classes, and over there, I learned a bunch of stuff that I did implement, and it was good, tasted good.
Stop. Okay, write down 3 more topics. Where are you?
Yes. I went to bring the paper.
Okay. Write down 3 more topics. One is balloon. Balloon.
Okay.
Number 3 and number 2, peacock. Peacock. And number 3, Ganges. Ganges. Okay. Which one you choose?
Balloon.
Okay. So your 100 seconds starts now. Your time starts now.
Okay, that reminds me of the time when it was my father's birthday last week, and a huge party was going to be there at our place. Everyone was going to come, and all the preparations were going on. The food was being prepared and ordered. The games were on. We had decided what games would be and who would be playing them. But the decorations, that was the role of me and my brother. So we had something in mind, and then we went to the market, ordered that, but we had to wait. And when because of that, we had to come back home and then go again. And when we did and started filling the uh, filling the balloons with the air, the first thing that we saw was that they were not the size that we had been expecting. They were too small. And the funniest part is that my father turned 45, so we got 4 and 5 balloons with the numbers. So the 4 was actually smaller than the 5, so it was looking a bit funny when we filled it up with air. And then for some reason, they did not float in the air, probably because we filled them with a pump and not with helium. So we just had to kind of place them on the table, and they were not sticking on the wall or hanging around. And after a while, somehow they just popped up, the 5 popped up, and then we had to wrap it up with the tape so that it was still there. But it looked funny, and my father really appreciated it.
Warning. Stop. Last set. Okay. Sky, birds, nameplate, shoes,
Nameplate.
okay. All right. Okay.
It was the most difficult one, right?
Yeah, that is the highest marks. I do not know what be must be very easy for you that you chose it. Okay, right. So your 100 seconds starts now. Start.
That reminds me of the time when I was in 8th grade, and during summer vacation, I had gone to visit my uncle and aunt in Seattle along with my family. And at that time, we went to shopping to the dollar store, Dollar Tree store. And while roaming there through the aisles, I saw a wooden plate, and it was just a plain board, nothing on it. And it was under the art and crafts section, and I at that time really loved creating stuff and making art in general. So I did not know what purpose it served, but I picked it up and then took it home with me along with some glitters and those alphabets, like the stencils, the stickers. And I took all of that stuff with me home and started, uh, drawing something on it. But then my mother came in and she told me that it was supposed to be a nameplate. So then the idea occurred to me that because my aunt and uncle had moved into a new home, they did not have a nameplate at that time. So why not I make one for them? So I started making a nameplate for them. Started writing the letters Agarwal's first, and then filling them with glitter, putting glitter all around the borders, and then tied a little thread above it so that they could hang it. But I did need help from my uncle for putting in the screws to hold that thread. And when it was complete, my mother did give it a final touch, and it turned out to be really beautiful. And my uncle and aunt did hang it on their floor, in their place. And
Morning.
whenever I'm calling them nowadays, or Russian Central, they remind me of how it is still there and how it looks beautiful.
Stop. Sit down. Now make a list of the marking.
1 second.
Okay. Number one,
Mhm.
choice of topic, 10 marks. Choice of topic, 10 marks. Introduction, 10 marks. Story, 10 marks. Conclusion, oblique thanks, 10 marks. Time, 120 seconds, 10 marks. Next, enthusiasm, 10 marks. Confidence, 10 marks. Clarity of voice, 10 marks. Modulation, 10 marks. Emotion, 10 marks. Make the total marks. How much?
Oh, I should give the mark.
नहीं total कितना हुआ है 10 करके?
Oh,
हाँ,
40, 40, 16, 17, 100.
okay. Now you have total 100 marks. Now listen. The first speech, analyze your first speech. Now, first of all, oh, sorry, introduction, introduction with tickler. Introduction with tickler, because if you don't use the tickler, you straight away get -5. Okay, you use tickler in all the places, so that risk was not there. So introduction, that means how did you create the introduction? Okay, now don't be biased. You are not Vidhi. It is some of your friends whom you do not like. Okay, think of that friend. You are analyzing that person, not your favorite, the person who is you are not very fond of. And that person gave all the three speeches, not Vidhi. Don't be biased at all. So how much marks for the first speech you give for introduction? लगाओ लगाओ फटाफट।
1 because the first speech was
कारण देने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप
okay.
मार्क्स लगाते ही जाओ, कारण आपके पास। नंबर 2 क्या है?
Subject. Story.
स्टोरी, इंट्रोडक्शन, स्टोरी। स्टोरी में
Hmm.
कितना मार्क्स दोगे? फर्स्ट
3.
वाला है 10 में 3। अच्छा, वेरी गुड। यू आर नॉट मार्किंग फॉर योर फ्रेंड, ओके। व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट? कंक्लूजन।
Conclusion.
You had no conclusion.
Yeah. 0.
0. Next.
Time.
First one was in time.
Yeah. No.
How much marks would you give? Let's say timing marks हम लोग कैसे देते हैं? Suppose it is 120 seconds. You finish up
Hmm.
before that. The distance between the final and the finish, based on that you give a marks. More distant, more less. Okay? If you finish in 1 minute, you will get 2 in timing. Now, more time, over the time, the same way the marks will go down. You will
Hmm.
get, yeah, you will get 9 out of 10 if you finish in 120 seconds. You will never get 10. You will get maximum 9. Okay? So if you fit closer now, how much marks would you give for the first?
0 because I didn't even finish in a minute.
Okay, next.
Enthusiasm.
How was your enthusiasm?
0.
No, not 0. You give 2. Okay? Next, don't be so cruel on your enemy. Jesus said, love thy enemy. Remember? Jesus Christ said, love thy enemy. Okay, next. Next point.
Confidence.
How much?
1.
All right. Next point.
Then clarity of voice.
Clarity of voice. How much?
You tell that.
Now I will give you later. I will give my marks later. Don't worry.
Okay. And
How?
3.
Yeah. How did you hear your friend? Was there clarity in communication? 100%. Did you understand? So 3. All right. Next.
No, 0. Changed it to 0
No,
now.
not 0. 3 is okay. You are not so
Okay.
bad. No.
Modulation.
Modulation.
There was no voice modulation.
1. Next.
Emotion. One.
Right. 1. And then there were no Thanksgiving. 0.
Yeah. We
Over.
already did that. No, choice of topic. You said 4. 4 food.
Yeah. Choice of topic 4. Okay.
Hmm.
Now add them.
Uh,
Are you using a calculator for adding?
No.
Okay. Don't use a calculator.
Fourteen.
Okay. Next. Story number 2. Give marks. अभी मैं नहीं
Hmm.
बोलूंगा, अपने आप marks fill up करो सारे.
Balloon was how many points for choice of the topic?
Okay. That I will tell you later.
Okay.
Hmm.
Done.
Part story complete करो. Add करो. How much? How much marks you got for the second story? First you got 16%,
No, 14.
14%. Second,
18.
third,
No, now 18 is without including the points for choice of topic.
Yeah. Choice, that is 6. Balloon is, what are the options? Balloon, what else were there?
Balloon, peacock, and gangs.
Balloon, peacock, and
The
Ganges.
Ganga River gangs is okay.
Okay, I'll give you 5 because balloon was the lowest.
Okay.
Add 5, so 23.
Hmm.
You got 23%.
Then it was nameplate. Okay.
Hmm.
Intro.
Nameplate, you get 9.
Okay. $24.
So I think it should be 123. Add 3 of them.
24, 23, and 30.
Not 123, but it will be 73.
61.
61 divided by 3. So 20%. It is 20.3%. 20.33. Okay. Right. Round करके लिखो. Average you got 20.33% marks. Okay.
Done.
So now listen very carefully. Okay. How do you evaluate your performance today? Good, poor, how?
Poor.
Okay. So this is not on. Okay, I honor your sincerity. I honor you as a good girl, responsible girl. I know you are busy. I know you are preoccupied. I'm not cruel on you because I understand what you are undergoing. You are leaving the country for the first time, leaving your families. So I will not be cruel. I acknowledge and honor your greatness. Okay. So, but I'm not at all happy. And you got to make me happy. Am I reasonable? Are you afraid
Yeah.
of me? Are you afraid
No.
of me? Okay. Do you think I love you? Okay. And I care for you? All right. So I will not train you on talk to convince today because I want to have your practice was not good. I
Hmm.
totally trust if you practice, you are a very capable girl. And I want you to be champion. So this weekend, you go mad and practice. Once again, 2 to
Okay.
300 topics you should practice. Then only you will be confident. And listen, there will be no marks on topic. Next day on Tuesday, there will be a solid test on you. You will not be given any choice. There will be 20 topics and you got to point the number. And that number I will invert and your topic will be there. You got to speak on that topic. I will not give you difficult topics. I'll give you easy topics. But all topics will have same marks. That topic marks will not be there. Right? So you will have to give 120-second speech. Note down 120-second speech. And the warning bell will be only 30 seconds, not 100 seconds. Initial warning will be only 30 seconds. I gave you 100 seconds for a practice.
Oh, okay.
Only 30 seconds, right? One topic, 30 seconds, 120 seconds, 100 seconds, you will get a warning bell.
Okay, done.
And the Thanksgiving was not there in any of the things.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you forgot because you didn't practice. If you practice, you cannot forget. This is proven, all right? I have done 169 batches in the country for the last 33 years. So I have met 5,000 people doing what you are doing today. So I have got a clear intuitive idea what is the problem. Okay, the problem is not practicing. You got to practice. Okay, come back on the impromptu practice. There'll be only one speech. You won't have to give 3 speeches, but I'll give you 30-second practice time. You will have an option to just pinpoint in one of the blocks. I'll invert the blocks immediately in front of you, and you will quickly get the topic. And the moment you get the topic, you get 30 seconds, and then straight away start. That reminds me of the time when, tack, 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 tack. Introduction, story. All right. Now, I will teach you one more thing here, which I did not teach you last time. Very powerful. Every topic has one of the 2 characteristics. Understand that. If you don't understand, ask me questions. One of the 2 characteristics. Either it has a potential to make your speech funny, interesting, funny in the sense with a lot of sense of humor.
Mm.
You can be hilarious. You can make a hilarious thing. Alternatively, it has the potential to make it emotional. You remember the story about shoes I told about my father?
Yeah.
Which route did I take? Funny route or emotional
Emotional.
route? Yeah,
Emotional.
right. Now, if you give me a topic, chair, I will say I was a very strong boy. That reminds me of the time when I was in the school. I was very fat. Not only fat, I was very strong. And I was very fond of fighting.